Elias stands alone in his dim, quiet kitchen. He stares at the nearly empty wooden pantry shelf. His hands tremble as he touches the last bag of flour. A stack of unpaid invoices sits on the flour-dusted counter. The weight of his mounting debts presses against his chest. He sighs, the sound echoing in the hollow, silent room. For months, the small bakery has struggled to stay afloat. He watches his remaining resources dwindle to almost nothing. The bakery is cold and devoid of its usual warmth. Elias leans against the counter, closing his eyes tightly. A memory of a long-forgotten sermon stirs in his mind. The preacher spoke of bringing one's lack to Jesus. He recalls the invitation for divine intervention in times of need. It was not a final surrender, but a call to trust. A sudden, inexplicable urge rises within his weary heart. He feels compelled to bake one final batch of bread, not to sell, but to give away to suffering neighbors. The village has been ravaged by a long, cruel drought. He looks at the meager supplies left in his pantry. Giving away his last flour makes no logical sense. Fear of total ruin gnaws at his fading resolve. Yet, the instruction to trust echoes clearly in his thoughts. He considers the higher timing mentioned in the sermon. Elias reaches for the heavy wooden mixing bowl. He pours the last of the flour into the bowl. A small cloud of white dust rises into the air. He adds a splash of water from the ceramic pitcher. His hands begin to knead the sticky raw dough. The rhythm of his movements becomes steady and focused. He chooses obedience over the crushing weight of his fear. The dough begins to take shape under his calloused palms. He works with a sense of strange, quiet purpose. Outside, the sun beats down on the parched village streets. He imagines the hungry faces of his neighbors nearby. The kitchen begins to warm as he lights the oven. The fire flickers, casting long shadows against the walls. He shapes the dough into small, humble loaves. Each loaf is placed carefully onto the baking tray. He slides the tray into the heat of the oven. He waits, watching the oven door with bated breath. The scent of baking bread begins to fill the air. It is a rich, comforting aroma in the empty shop. Elias wipes his brow, feeling a shift in his spirit. The fear of ruin seems to retreat for a moment. He trusts that this act is a necessary step forward. The oven timer dings, signaling the bread is ready. He pulls the golden loaves out, steam rising high. They look perfect, despite the lack of ingredients used. He wraps the warm bread in clean, white cloths. He walks toward the front door of the bakery. His hand rests on the cold iron door handle. He takes a deep breath, preparing to face the village. He steps out into the bright, harsh afternoon light. The village square is quiet and filled with dust. He sees a neighbor sitting on a nearby stone bench. Elias approaches with the warm bread in his arms. He offers a loaf with a gentle, hopeful smile. The neighbor looks up, surprised by the unexpected gift. Elias feels a peace he has not known for months. The miracle of his obedience has officially begun. Elias pulls the first tray of golden bread from the oven. The warmth radiates against his tired, flour-dusted face. He steps out into the dusty street with a basket. A gaunt neighbor approaches, eyes wide with sudden hope. Elias hands over a loaf, his hand steadying. The neighbor tears into the bread, weeping with gratitude. Elias returns to his bakery, expecting an empty bin. He glances at the flour container, now mysteriously brimming. He rubs his eyes, doubting the sight before him. The white powder settles, filling the wooden vessel completely. A sweet, yeasty aroma drifts out into the village square. People stop in their tracks, drawn by the scent. A line begins to form outside the bakery door. Elias works the dough, his movements fluid and rhythmic. He feels a strange, calm energy filling his tired limbs. The dough rises faster than he has ever witnessed. He slides tray after tray into the roaring oven. The bakery walls seem to glow with soft light. Customers enter, their faces etched with the drought's toll. Elias hands out loaves, refusing any payment offered. The bin remains full, regardless of how much he scoops. He smiles, realizing the miracle is unfolding in real time. The village children laugh, clutching warm bread to chests. Neighbors share stories, their heavy burdens momentarily lifted. The bakery transforms into a sanctuary of shared hope. Elias watches the crowd, his heart swelling with peace. He understands now that his lack was the canvas. The miracle is not just bread, but community restored. Sunlight streams through the window, illuminating the flour dust. The drought outside continues, but inside, life flourishes. Elias kneads again, his faith now unshakable and deep. He whispers a quiet prayer of thanks to Jesus. The line of people stretches far down the lane. Elias greets each person with a gentle, knowing nod. He offers a loaf to an elderly woman nearby. She touches his arm, her eyes reflecting his joy. The bakery air feels thick with divine presence. He realizes his best days were never truly gone. They were waiting for this moment of total surrender. The flour bin remains a bottomless well of provision. He works until the sun begins to dip low. The village is fed, their spirits visibly lifted higher. Elias stands in the doorway, watching the sunset glow. He knows tomorrow will bring more work and grace. He is no longer a man defined by debt. He is a vessel poured out for his neighbors. The bakery remains a beacon in the dark night. Elias closes the door, his heart full of peace. He looks at his hands still dusted with flour. The miracle continues, woven into the fabric of life. He rests against the counter, breathing in the scent. The silence of the kitchen is now comforting. He knows he will never be empty again. The path ahead is clear, guided by faith. He wipes the table, preparing for the morning. The flour bin sits, a testament to obedience. Elias turns off the lamp, leaving the room. The bakery remains a sanctuary for the weary. His trust in Jesus has changed everything forever. The miracle of the bread is only beginning.